Good morning, parents, students, and eighth grade families. Today we're going to discuss the admission process for 2020 high schools. It looks a little bit different this year. Simply that we wouldn't have been starting in January. We would have actually been done by now. However, we're going to get started, and the next couple months are going to be extremely busy in reference to high schools, the admission process, selecting your programs that you're interested, the specialized high school process. So the purpose of this presentation is just simply to not only clarify some information regarding high schools and specialized high schools, but just to also go over the deadlines and dates. So without further ado, let's get started. So jumping right into it, important dates. The DOE has just announced important dates regarding the high school admission process. Account creation letters have been sent to homes. This began the week of December 14th. So by now, everyone should have received your letter to create your account. On that paper, there was a special account creation code specifically designed for your child. We're going to go into a few slides where you're actually going to see the screens. But right now, the importance is everyone should have gotten their letter. On the letter, there's also specific information on how to create your account. If you have not received that letter as of now, many of you have been emailing me, which is wonderful. But if those of you who have not received your letter, I strongly urge you to email me at your earliest convenience, because I can get that letter to you via email and you can create your account. When you create your account, you can, at this point, apply to specialized high schools. You'll submit your registration for that. And then you will also be able to save and store special programs that you are interested in. So that is why it's extremely important for you to create your account immediately. Okay, so specialized high school admission test registration has opened. The deadline to apply is coming up very soon. It is January 15th. The high schools that you select on your registration for the specialized high school test are the ones you're going to apply to. So it is extremely important when you register on My Schools for specialized high schools, and high schools for that matter, you have to list the school in order of your preference. If you don't, then you may get into a school that you really didn't want to get into. So put it in the order that you like. For specialized high schools, you're only applying if you want to go to one of those 8 schools listed below: Bronx Hall Science, Brooklyn Latin, Brooklyn Tech, High School for Math, Science, and Engineering at City College. Then there's High School of American Studies at Lehman, Queens High School at York, Staten Island Tech, and Stuyvesant. You do not have to list all of them. Just list the ones that you are interested in order of your preference. So, for example, if you wanted to only go to the Brooklyn schools, you can choose Brooklyn Latin, Brooklyn Tech. That is it. Okay, so you don't have to list all 8. You just do the ones you really like in the order that you like them. Okay. Now, this is something that I'm reiterating again. It was on a previous presentation I have made. But how do you participate in high school admissions? Okay, so there's definitely 2 pathways. The red is always going to be your required high school admission process. From there, you get to choose from 700 programs at 400 high schools. Remember, you're applying to the programs, not necessarily just the high school. You're applying to the programs inside of the high school. So typically, we would have started that early fall, but we're going to start that on, January 19th is when the application process opens. You're going to list your 12 programs that you like in a variety of school, and you're going to get 1 offer. Now, a lot of the times kids will come to me when the applications are closed and everyone gets their selections. Oh, but I only got 1 offer. Do you have to go? Yes, you have to go. And that is, you're only getting 1 choice. Okay, so the red is mandated. You have to do that one. The blue is your optional. The blue is what we were just talking about, your specialized high schools. You have 8 schools that you test for, 1 school that you audition for. LaGuardia is an audition school. We're going to get into that in just a second. So you register. The registration process has opened. You register on My Schools once you create your account. You take the specialized high school test. You get 1 offer. Okay, so in your high school application and your specialized high school application, you're only getting one offer back, okay, from each of them. Now, if you were planning to do an audition for LaGuardia, LaGuardia is a little bit different. What's going on this year is basically that you're going to do your virtual performance. It's all virtual this year, so you'll record yourself doing your talents, whether it be singing, performing, or dancing, or playing an instrument. You'll do that in the comfort of your own home or wherever you have space, and you'll record yourself doing that. Then you'll submit it through a virtual application process, which is a different thing. If you have any of that you want to audition for, when we set up our one-to-one meetings, or you can reach out to me directly and I will guide you on how to do that. But from there, you could get 1 to 6 offers. So you can apply to multiple programs inside of LaGuardia. We've had students apply to instrumental music and maybe visual arts. All that can be done. You just submit multiple auditions, so you can get more than one offer. Okay, I hope I was clear. Moving on. The specialized high school test, admission test, and the high school applications. Okay, so you can complete only the high school application, or you can do both. But you cannot just complete the specialized high school test only. Okay, we want either both or only the regular high school application, which was that red column a few slides ago. Okay. The test will be held on January 27th, so it's coming up really soon. Once the registration process closes, we're testing, and it's going to be held in BC. The high school admission process opens right after the specialized high school test closes, which I believe closes on 1/15. They're opening up the high school admission process, which is on January 19th, and it's going to close almost a month later on February 23rd, which kind of overgoes the midwinter recess break. So you can have that time to, really make sure and really submit what you want as far as high schools. Now, we are also offering one-to-one appointment windows to speak about high schools and create your applications. If you have any problems or you're getting stuck or you just want clarification, I strongly urge you to create your appointment with me over the BC website. But again, we will touch base with that toward the end of the presentation. So what are the specialized high schools? Again, I listed them here. It's nice and organized by borough, so you can look. A location, I always say, is a very important thing to consider when you're applying to all high schools, let alone specialized high schools. Okay, so preparing for the specialized high school test. This is something your kids have been hearing me say since they were in the 6th grade. Study, make sure your grades are good enough, especially last year. Over the summer, I was telling them to kind of make sure that they've been practicing for the specialized high school test. Now, again, registration for that test closes on January 15th. So if you have any interest in having your child take this test or taking this test, if I'm talking to a student, I really want you to register for it. I rather you register for it and not take it rather than coming on January 27th wanting to take the test and you cannot. So register for it, and then we can talk about it after the fact, okay? So right now, what I've strongly urged you all to be doing is taking the practice test. Looking at the dates, the locations, which now has all changed. It's at BC, January 27th. Know the specialized high schools. Know what they offer. That's really important because Brooklyn Latin offers things that are very different from Brooklyn Tech. It's a matter of what you like. Plan your time. The test is 180 minutes, no breaks. Students with specialized accommodations, the test is usually double time, so you get 360 minutes. Now that is 6 hours for you to take the test with 2 15-minute breaks. So it's actually a little bit longer than that because the breaks are not considered in that 360 minutes. Okay? All final answers go on the answer sheet, not inside the test book. And your school's preference order goes on your registration. And that's all when you register for the test. So preparing for LaGuardia auditions. Practice. Auditions are different for each studio. As I said before, your audition for dance may look a little bit different for your audition for playing an instrument. They're being held virtually. Again, if you're planning to submit your audition virtually, we can have that conversation in private. And also, I strongly urge you to look at the school's website for exactly what they want in your audition. Okay. Okay, what happens after you audition for LaGuardia? So after you audition, pretty much they look at just the audition and the school records, the written response, which you typically would complete during your audition or during your admission to the virtual space. Okay, after you take the test for specialized high schools, your offers are determined on how well you do and the preference on your sheet. So they're going to take the top 50 seats that if they have 50 seats, they're going to take the top 50 highest performing students that selected them on their application. So that's typically how it's determined. They do not look at your student state scores or your report cards. They just look on how well you perform on that test. All right, so we're putting high schools, specialized high schools at bay for now, and we're going just to talk about what everyone is going to complete, their high school application process. Okay, as I've said to you in previous presentations, at this point, what you should have already done is learn about the programs you're interested in, find out what's important for you and your family, size, location, programs that they offer. You're looking at the book that you should have gotten, or you could have browsed My Schools on your own. At this point, you should have 20 to 30 programs of your interest. Okay, and you're kind of funneling down those 20 to 30 programs to 12. Okay. My Schools is your online high school directory and your application. Go to myschools.nyc and you will be able to create your account and browse high schools there. For families, you can select your different language. It's offered in multiple languages as well. So when you log in, this is what the screen is going to look like. It says welcome, get started. If you need to log in, you just press the login button. Okay, parents, as I said, you can select multiple languages. So to view the searchable online directory, go to My Schools and scroll all the way to the bottom, and it'll say, you don't need an account, just start browsing. You're going to select that. That's what it looks like, all the way at the bottom. So what makes a really good high school application? Put 12 programs. Now, perhaps on a normal application process, I would have said, you want to do 10, okay, no problem. I'm strongly urging all families, all students to have a lot of programs on their application. A lot of things are very uncertain. So there's one thing I want all my BC families and all my BC students to be certain about, especially when the results come in. I want you to be happy with what you get. When you're looking at the high schools, it is important to really just consider not only the highly demanded program. Like I've always said to kids, everybody wants to go to Midwood. Everyone wants to go to Murrow. Everyone wants to go to Madison. Those are really demanding programs, and not everybody has the grades or the location just to get into those programs. So use a mix of different admission methods. Typically, there's always been like a screened program. Now they're kind of leaving it up to the schools on how they want to determine the eligibility criteria. And the other thing is making sure your child is in the first priority group for multiple programs. So a lot of the schools, when you're looking at them, they'll say, okay, like we're open to all Brooklyn. And then that's the first priority. And the second priority to be open to all New York City students. You want to make sure you're applying to schools that not only look at all of New York City, because that would make it a little bit more difficult for you to get in, but schools that are looking maybe just at districts 18 or just at Brooklyn schools, something just more narrowed where you're not applying with thousands of kids. You're just applying with maybe a few thousands of kids. only apply to programs you want your child to attend. And I say that with extremely, extremely, I really want you to understand that, because we've had in the past where, you put programs just to fill up the application, or you're putting programs that are, you like the program, but you don't know where the school is. Oh, the school is located in a really bad area. I don't feel comfortable sending my kid. Look at everything. You've had ample time to look through all the programs or the schools, where they're located, what they offer, and put the schools that you feel comfortable putting on the application. Because there's a chance that if you put a school that you do not really like, there is a chance that your child will get in and you will not be happy. And unfortunately, the appeal process, they've really been taking a lot of wiggle room away. Once they give you your offer, that's pretty much your offer. So, skipped ahead. Program choices on your application, okay? List the programs in your true order of preference. Put the schools you really like on the top, the schools that you like further down, okay? The high schools can't see the order of programs on your child's application. For them, every high school you apply to is always going to be your number one choice. That's what Central says. Students are considered for offers in the order of programs on their applications. So let's just say you get into your number one choice and you get into your number 12th choice, right? They like you. They all think you put them as number one. You met the criteria to get in, and you're doing great. Now, when they say to the central office, yes, we're selecting little Johnny, Central's going to say, okay, well, Johnny selected this school as 1 and this school as 12. So we're going to give Johnny his number 1 offer. Okay? That's the way they say it's done. If you don't get into your first choice, then you're considered for your next choice. Okay? So let's just say you get into, you don't get into one, but you get into your third choice. What happens is your schools that are number 1 and number 2, you get waitlisted for. So when you get waitlisted, you're given a number, and when they call that number, you get to go. That's typically the way it's going to work. So again, I put the screen up because I want you to remember, red is your mandatory. You have to do that, and you're only getting 1 acceptance out of the 12 that you select. Your blue is optional, but for your specialist high school test that you take, you're only getting 1 offer. And your audition, if you decide to audition, you could get 1 to 6 offers depending on how many auditions you submit. Okay. Now, creating your account in My School. Again, you should have received the welcome letters from Central via mail back in December. If you have not done so already, I strongly urge you to get in contact with me, in which I can get a welcome letter sent to your email. So once you're there, you're going to select Get Started. You'll fill in all the information, your name, your email address, your My School's password, and you're going to sit Next. Now, things that they don't tell you, but I've come to find out doing this for a while. When you put in your login, your email address, please put it all lowercase letters. The reason being is if you put 1 capital and 1 lower, if you don't remember that the next time, it's going to say, we don't know who you are. So make it easy on yourselves and put it all lowercase letters. Now, parents, I've had a few kids question, should it be mom's email address or my email address? I would prefer parents get the information. I think it's a little bit more secure. And I do think when the results come out and they are emailed to you directly, it's a little bit more safe, for lack of a better word. Students, if you have a better handle on your email address, you can use that as well. But I would rather parents use their email address, all lowercase letters. Your password, you could, make whatever you like. You'll hit next. So then you're going to create a confirmation email. You're going to get an email. You have to go in. You have to select, confirm. And you're going to click on the link on the email. This is pretty much what it's going to look like. You're going to select that link. Okay. So now it'll say, welcome, Sally. Okay. You'll enter your phone number, your mailing address, your preferred language. Oops, skipped ahead. And you'll select submit. Once you submit, this is where you need that account creation letter. You're going to add your child. Okay. And when you add your child, it's going to ask you, for that information, your account creation code, your child's ID number, all that information that you got on that account creation letter is going to be on there. And that's when you're going to need that letter to finish creating your adding your child to your account. Okay. So the most important information, I would say, is specialized high school application, the deadlines, the dates, the important stuff. Register by January 15th if you want to use if you want to take the specialized high school test. Once it closes, there's not much wiggle room for anyone. Maybe on normal circumstances, they would have given me a couple days of wiggle room. I don't think it's happening this year. I haven't gotten any, insider information that says, counselors will have by X date. The test is happening quickly after, so I don't think they're going to give me any wiggle room. So, like I said, I'd rather you apply. If you're uncertain, just apply. I'd rather you not show up on the 27th than show up on the 27th wanting to take the test, and I cannot help you. So if you have an inkling that you want to take the test, let me know. Or you can go on your website and register on your own. When you register, remember they want to know what schools you are going to be applying to. So make sure if you're writing me an email, hey, Miss Oliveri, I want to apply for the specialized high school. I'll say, great, absolutely no problem. I can register for you, but I need to know the schools you want to list on your application in order of preference. Again, that'll be held on January 27th at BC. So it's very local for many of our families. You just come into school and we'll situate you with your book. Okay. As far as your high school application, remember, we want you to register as soon as you can. It opens on January 19th. So right after Shazak closes, high school opens. And the deadline to apply is the end of February. Right after President's Week is when you're going to apply. Okay, as always, we are here to help. It can be overwhelming, not only for students, for parents, for counselors. It's a lot of work in a very short amount of time. But although we don't look like we always do, we are here to help virtually. That's why we do so many of these sessions. We post them all over. We send so many emails. We're here to help as best as we possibly can. We want to ensure the success of our students. When it comes to high schools, we've always been really good at it. We want to continue being really good at it. COVID's not going to, change that. So some of the different ways we're here to help is on the website. We have appointment information with myself. So if you need an appointment during the day, I'm available Monday through Friday during school hours. If you need any information, if you can't do those times, I am available later on in the evening for Monday through Fridays. Whatever you need, I'm here making virtual appointments. Just use the appointment how-to tool on BC website, and I will be there. Also, on the BC website, you can look for past how-to high school sessions, which is very similar to the one I did, just maybe a little bit more in depth about specific topics, students with disabilities, students that are English language learners, exactly how the admission process works, just a little bit more specific into various areas. Okay. The other information is always posted in your child's class of 2021 classroom under high school all information, specialized high schools, high school stuff, all that stuff is always on there. The same message I send to you on email, I also give to my students. Okay. Check your email and your child's email periodically for announcements. When I get emails from Central, I always send the information out, not only to my parents, but to my students. Because let's say sometimes things get lost in translation, right? The other way information is also sent is to students and parents via Pupil Path. So there's multiple modalities being used to give you the information that you need when it comes to high school. Again, if you need a virtual session, I'm here. I'm available. I have an intern that's helping as well, Miss Solomon. Many of you have know her. She's been at BC for quite a while now. She'll also be assisting me with virtual sessions when it comes to high schools. She's very knowledgeable. And if you need anything, I'm always just an email away. Parents who have emailed me in the past know I'm pretty responsive when it comes, and hopefully I'm pretty quick for you. So just send me an email, students as well. Just send me an email if you have a question, as silly as you think it may be. If it's something that I could address for you, I have absolutely no problem addressing it. So with that being said, that is the end of today's presentation. I look forward to helping you in our information sessions, and I hope this was a little bit of an easier tool for you to use. And please book up your appointments. I'm here for whatever you need. Okay, have a good day.